Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another movie review for you guys, and this movie we're going to be reviewing, I was definitely looking forward to. I was looking forward to this movie. I thought that this was going to be, a really awesome movie. I didn't really know too much about it, though, and then I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer, and I thought this movie looks awesome, and I was planning on seeing it yesterday, just didn't get a chance to, but I finally saw it today, and that movie is Kingsman: The Secret Service. Now, I was looking forward to this movie. I mean, I wasn't like, oh my god, I need to see this movie like right now. I wasn't like that. But I was looking forward to it. I thought it'd be a good movie overall. And how was Kingsman: The Secret Service? Oh my god, guys. Kingsman: The Secret Service might end up on my top 10 of the year. It really was that awesome. It was completely awesome. It really felt like a summer movie that was supposed to be in the summer, but because there's so many summer movies coming out, it got demoted to February. It really did feel like a summer movie at times, and it definitely has that feel. And that's one of the things I loved about Kingsman. There were a lot of things this movie did that I didn't know was going to do, and I absolutely love that. And I'm going to talk about things this movie did that I thought was just so awesome that it did. So let's get to the plot of Kingsman. So basically, the movie is about this government agency, called Kingsman and everything. And there's this kid called Eggsy. And Eggsy met up with the leader of Kingsman. I guess you could say, one of the leaders of Kingsman, Harry, who is unable to prevent the death of one of his agents, and he made a promise to Eggsy that if they ever need help, they should call the phone number on the back of the medal and deliver a coded message. Well, years later, we see that Eggsy, he's kind of gone on the wrong road. He's unemployed, he's living with his mother, and he's really just not in a very good place. His mother is getting abused by, this man and everything. Their life is just really not in a good place, like, at all. It's really not, and their life's really not in a good place, and basically, Eggsy is then approached by Harry to sort of turn his life around and join Kingsman, and meanwhile, there is this man, uh, Richmond Valentine, who is this guy that basically is trying to play God. He thinks that he is God. He thinks he is the most powerful person ever, and he wants to take out the weak and basically take out the weak so the strong can live. But really, when he meets the weak and the strong, he means like the rich and the poor. So Kingsmen have to find a way to take him down, and this movie is completely awesome. I say that right now, guys. Kingsman was fucking awesome, and I loved it. Well, the first half was awesome. The second half, it got amazing because there's a twist that is extremely shocking that I am going to talk about, but it is a huge spoiler, and it's one of the biggest spoilers in recent history, which I definitely want to talk about. But basically, we're going to get to what really made this movie so good. This movie could have failed. I'm going to say that right now. Kingsman could have failed, and especially because it's a February movie. It's very surprising that this movie actually did as well as it did, because it definitely could. It could have failed miserably. This movie could have been a complete disaster, and it wasn't a disaster at all. In fact, it was awesome. And I think it was due in part to the acting. Everyone in this movie, you can tell, just having such a great time and just having a ball making this movie. The main lead here, Taron Egerton. I've never seen this kid really do anything else, but I want to because he is awesome as Eggsy. He is an awesome character. I absolutely loved his character. This movie makes you want to be Eggsy because he's getting exposed to all these like awesome gadgets that the government has, and it really made me think, is the Secret Service really this cool? Because they have some really awesome things. They have a pen where all you do is you put it near someone, you click the pen, and you kill them, because like there's this poison that comes out. There's this gadget that's like a hand grenade. There are so many things that the Secret Service has, and it's just so cool, and it really makes you want to be his character. He was also hilarious at times. I mean, his reactions to things were just priceless to see. But one of the things I really like with his character that I didn't know this movie was going to do is actually have him go through a little bit of a character journey, because he really goes from zero to hero, and that's kind of what his character is. And I really thought his character had a lot of really good development, something that I didn't really think the movie was going to do. I thought it was just going to be a fun character, but no, he actually has a lot going on in his personal life. His mom is dating this guy who is constantly abusing her, and he absolutely hates Eggsy, and it's really just not, he's really not living a good life, but he wants to turn around, and I think that overall, Taron Egerton just did a fantastic job in this movie. He really was fantastic, and he was just he was great. He, especially towards the ending of this movie, he was just awesome towards the end of it. He was great the whole movie, but especially towards the end. That's when I thought he was the best. Great acting from overall. Colin Firth in this movie as Harry. Now, a lot of people were probably thinking, and me myself, I'm like, Colin Firth in an action movie? No, there's no way this is gonna work. But no, he gave as just a performance as Taron Egerton. One of the things I loved about his character is that he comes across as the nicest English gentleman who is just like, very old and everything, but he'll be nice to you. But then if you cross him or you do something to him, he will kick your ass and he fights dirty. And he has some awesome kills. There's this scene where he just throws a teacup and it just chips this guy's head out. It was awesome to see. There's this one scene in the church. He's just taking people out one by one. It's awesome to watch, and he did a fantastic job in the movie. The bonding between Taron Egerton and Colin Firth was great as well. He had some hilarious lines in the beginning. Throughout the whole movie, he had some great lines. I thought that he was just spot on in this movie, and he was absolutely fantastic. I really did love his character, and he overall was awesome. Samuel Jackson in this movie. I never really pictured Sam Jackson as a villain, but he killed it in this movie. I have to say, there are some scenes where he stole the show. There's this one scene where Harry goes to his house, and it's so funny, but one of the things I really liked about his character is how backwards he was. I mean, he's totally a backwards thinker, and it's totally the opposite of what these people are, because, I don't know if you guys know this, but they're very conservative. It's a conservative movie, and that's one of the things I liked about the movie. I thought that was a very well done, the way the movie played with politics and things like that, because it actually adds something to the movie. I didn't think the movie was really going to do that, but the movie has a lot to say about politics, because he's a man who basically thinks that the poor are weak, and they're, not the poor, but more like middle class. They're weak, they're not strong, they need to be taken out, and he thinks that the rich are like the greatest people ever, when really he has it backwards. The people that he thinks are bad are actually the strongest ones, and the ones that he thinks are the weak ones are actually the strong ones, and I really like that about his character. That his character is very interesting with that as well, but I also love it. He was kind of a pussy, I have to say. His character at times, he's not exactly someone that fights dirty. He's not exactly, he's a great villain, but he's a great villain in quips. I mean, there are times where you're watching him in this movie and you're like, how the hell is this guy a villain? Like, seriously. There are times where he's kind of a pussy. He really is. And I thought overall he did a great job as that character. Really, I love that about his character. I didn't care that he didn't fight or anything, because he was just such an awesome villain. He really was. And his mission was awesome to see. And just him himself, he did a great job. He really did. There were some parts where he just stole the show, and he was really awesome in the movie. Mark Strong as Merlin was really good. Michael Caine was really good. But I really want to talk about, Michael Caine was also really good in this movie. Not really too much to say about Michael Caine, except there's actually a really good twist with him in the movie that's really shocking that I do want to talk about. One other thing I do want to say about Sam Jackson's character that I didn't mention, that he, basically, the way he's gonna get all these, the weak ones out, is he has chipped all these, basically everyone in the world. He has chipped all of the rich people and the people that work for him. He has put a chip inside their head, and basically that chip is going to make them attack those people and basically take them down. And I thought that was very interesting the way he did that, and just, the way he compared things to, like, the way he compared, taking people down to, like, an iPhone when it's dead and everything. I thought that was a really interesting thing that he said. I definitely thought that was very interesting there. Michael Caine, I thought, was really good in this movie. He has a really good twist. Sophia Cookson, I liked her as Roxy. I think she's a really good character. Sophia Boutella as Gazelle, we have to talk about her character. Her character was awesome. She really reminded me of Hit Girl, but, like, Hit Girl from hell, because she's not a good character. She really is, even though Richmond Valentine is the main villain in this movie, I have to say, she really did all the dirty work for him. She does. She takes down people. She has knives for feet. I mean, it really does not get more awesome than that. That's the kind of movie you're watching. Jack Davenport is in this movie for, like, one scene, but I have not seen Jack Davenport in a very long time. He was awesome in the movie. Mark Hamill was great in the movie. Everyone was awesome in this movie. I could talk about anyone, and they were all awesome. Every single person Cookson was just awesome in this movie. The directing by Matthew Vaughn. I've seen Matthew Vaughn do a lot of movies. He's done X-Men First Class, of course, you know, which again, guys, I've talked about this before. X-Men First Class is really what got me more into action movies. He did Kick-Ass, and more of that style is here. This really does feel like the new Kick-Ass, and I have to say, he directed this perfectly. The way that he directed this was just awesome. He wanted to make a good movie. He didn't want to make just a forgettable February movie. No, he wanted to make something that people are going to talk about and people are going to see, and his directing was perfect, really. I like that he went with a more comedic tone, because that's one of the things that Matthew Vaughn does really well with his movies, that he has a more comedic tone. Kick-Ass does it, X-Men First Class did it, and this movie does it. But one of the things I like about this movie is that this is a very ballsy movie. It had the balls to go very dark because of a huge twist that I definitely don't want to spoil. But I thought his directing was very well done. He did a great job directing. Screenplay, he also did the screenplay, and awesome screenplay. The lines and the twists, and also I have to talk about the action scenes in this movie are fucking awesome. All of the action scenes are awesome to see, especially the last action scene. There is this awesome kill, and all I want to say is that there are heads exploding and there's a graduation theme playing. I don't want to spoil anything else with that. That's all I'm going to say, guys. It is an awesome kill, and every single kill in this movie, they're so creative as well. I mean, some of the kills, as I said, they're just so creative, and the gadgets that they have, it really makes you want to join the Secret Service. Me, personally, I never want to join the Secret Service, but it makes you want to be in that world, and I like the world that he created overall. That's one of the things that a good action director should do, is create a good world, especially for a book that's based on, a movie that's based on a comic. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is based on a comic. I didn't know that either. I didn't believe it either, but it is based on a comic, and I love the world that Matthew Vaughn created. I want to see more of it, really. This is a movie where it's not like I don't mind a sequel. I want a sequel. I do, because I really love the world he created, and I think he did a great job with that. The cinematography is gorgeous in this movie, and so Tarantino-esque, I have to say. So many elements of this movie remind me of a Quentin Tarantino movie, because, one, how bloody it is, how graphic it was, but also the dialogue felt like Quentin Tarantino dialogue. You know, Quentin Tarantino would just make it like people having a conversation and just make it feel real and things like that. That's what this movie did as well, and I think they did a very good job with portraying the lines, things like that. They definitely did a very good job with that, and I thought the cinematography in this movie was great, and just, it was really good overall. Everything about the movie was really solid. The score to this movie is awesome. The score that they had, especially behind Richmond Valentine scenes, when we see Richmond Valentine plotting things, was awesome score. I thought the score was absolutely amazing to this. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's a really awesome score. Definitely not an unforgettable score. It's a score where if I hear it, I will say, okay, that's Kingsman, I know that. The editing was perfect to this movie as well. One of the things I love is that the first half, like I said, was awesome, but the second half, it gets really dark, and I like how dark the movie got. And now I'm going to talk about spoilers, guys. If you have not seen Kingsman, do not watch the rest of this review. I'm going to talk about one of the biggest spoilers, what I think is one of the biggest spoilers in action movie history. This is just, it's not really action movie history, but at least in recent memory. I mean, I was legitimately shocked by this, because one of the things was, I knew nothing about this movie. I didn't know many spoilers or anything. I didn't know how it ended. I didn't know anything like that. So I'm glad I didn't know that, because this legitimately surprised me. Because, of course, now we're getting into spoilers. So, of course, you know, Harry, he takes in all those people in the church. So there's Richmond Valentine saying to him, you want me to get you to live and everything. And then he pulls out that gun. He's like, well, that's not going to happen in this movie. And the second he did, I'm like, there's no way they're going to kill him. He's the second main character of this movie. There's no way they're going to kill Harry in this scene. But nope, he pulls out a gun. He shot him in the head. And I legitimately was like, holy shit, this movie is very ballsy. Because they had the guts to kill, they had the balls to kill the second main character of this movie in the first movie of what could possibly become a franchise, because I definitely could see this movie becoming a franchise, and the fact that they did that was just awesome, because then the movie just gets awesome, because of course Eggsy then finds out that Arthur was working for Richmond, you know, for Valentine and everything, and then he takes out all of Valentine's, he takes out all of Valentine's men and everything. Some people are complaining that he takes out the president. I don't care that he takes out the president. It was an awesome scene. The scene where he basically just blew up everyone's head, everyone that was working for Valentine, he blew up all their heads. That was awesome. It really was. It was awesome to see, and I think they did a great job with that scene because I was laughing. I have to say this also, guys. I forgot to say this. This movie's hilarious. There are so many lines where this movie had me dying, and the post-credit scene, of course, we have to talk about it. I love the post-credit scene to the movie. First of all, the fact that Eggsy got that girl, I thought was awesome to see as well. And then basically the ending of the movie where Eggsy then appears in the same bar where Harry first invited him to join, and then his mother's boyfriend is there and his stepfather's there and everything, and she's trying to prevent Eggsy's mother from leaving, and he's trying to prevent Eggsy's mother from leaving the pub, and then Eggsy knocks him unconscious and basically prepares to do the same to his friends. I think that's saying there's gonna be a sequel. That's what they're saying, is that his stepfather is going to be the next big villain, and I'm all for that because he's really intimidating. I have to say, the guy that plays him is just really intimidating, and I could definitely see him being a really awesome villain in the future, and I love that post-credit scene. But overall, guys, that's it for my review of Kingsman. Overall, guys, Kingsman is awesome. It totally felt like the summer movie that never was, and it should have been a summer movie. It really should have. The problem is there's so many summer movies coming out this year that this had to be pushed back, but I could definitely... This is like the Captain America, the Winter Soldier of 2015. I'm calling it right now. This is going to end up on a lot of people's top 10 lists, and it's probably going to end up on mine because I love this movie. I love the world that Matthew Vaughn created. I want to see a sequel, and I legitimately love everything about this movie. Other than that, guys, let me know what you guys saw this movie. Overall, I thought it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I thought that there was just some awesome scenes, and I just really loved everything about the movie. It's a really solid movie. Definitely. It also is a great time at the movies, definitely. It's the most fun I've had watching a movie all year, definitely. I had so much fun watching this movie, and definitely check out this movie. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for tonight's episode of the original. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.